Have you ever heard about a time when destruction rained down from the sky on American soil, not from a foreign enemy, but within its own borders? What if one of the darkest chapters in United States history was hidden for decades from textbooks and public memory? In this video, we will uncover what happened in Tulsa in 1921 and why it still matters today. Stay with me until the end to understand the truth behind this tragedy. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful historical insights like this. 1. Greenwood and Black Wall Street. Before the violence, the Greenwood district in Tulsa was one of the most prosperous African-American communities in the country. Often called Black Wall Street, it was filled with successful businesses, banks, hotels, theaters, and professional offices. Despite segregation laws, residents built economic independence and strong community institutions. Wealth circulated within the neighborhood, creating opportunity and pride. 2. The incident that sparked tension. The immediate trigger came after a young black man named Dick Rowland was accused of assaulting a white elevator operator. Details were unclear and evidence was weak, yet rumors spread quickly through newspapers and word of mouth. Sensational headlines fueled anger and fear. Crowds gathered outside the courthouse where Rowland was held. In a climate already charged by racial hostility and post-war anxiety, misinformation escalated the situation rapidly. 3. Armed confrontation at the courthouse. As rumors of a possible lynching spread, black veterans and community members went to the courthouse to protect Rowland. Many had served in World War I and were determined to defend their rights. Their presence was met with hostility from white crowds. A confrontation occurred and shots were fired, though accounts differ about who fired first. 4. The destruction of Greenwood. Over the next several hours and into the following day, white mobs moved into Greenwood, looting and burning homes and businesses. Entire blocks were set on fire. Families fled as gunfire echoed through the streets. Properties built over years of effort were reduced to ashes. Reports later described airplanes flying overhead, allegedly dropping incendiary devices and firing from above. Whether every detail was documented or not, the scale of destruction was undeniable. 5. Casualties and displacement. The exact number of deaths remains uncertain, with estimates ranging from dozens to possibly hundreds. Many bodies were never formally recorded. Thousands of black residents were left homeless almost overnight. Survivors were detained in holding centers under armed guard, often forced to show proof of employment to secure release. Families were separated and livelihoods vanished. The human cost extended far beyond physical destruction, as trauma and grief reshaped lives for generations. 6. Government and law enforcement response. Local authorities failed to protect Greenwood and in some cases were accused of participating in or enabling the violence. Instead of defending citizens, law enforcement disarmed black residents and deputized white civilians. Martial law was eventually declared, but only after widespread destruction had occurred. No meaningful prosecutions followed for those responsible for the violence. Insurance claims filed by black property owners were largely denied. 7. Erasure from public memory. For many years, the Tulsa Race Massacre was rarely mentioned in official histories. Schools did not teach it, and public discussion remained limited. Survivors often carried their stories privately, fearing backlash or disbelief. This silence contributed to a broader pattern of ignoring racial violence in American history. It was not until the late 20th century that renewed investigation brought greater awareness. The long period of omission demonstrated how painful events can be excluded from national narratives, delaying healing and understanding. 8. Economic impact on generations. The destruction of Greenwood wiped out accumulated wealth that could have supported future generations. Businesses, property ownership, and financial assets were lost without fair compensation. This setback contributed to long-term economic disparities. The interruption of opportunity limited upward mobility for families who had built success despite segregation. The massacre was not only an act of violence, but also an attack on economic independence. Its effects rippled through decades, shaping patterns of inequality that are still discussed today. 9. Official recognition and investigation. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, official investigations began to document the events more thoroughly. Commissions gathered survivor testimonies and archival evidence. Public memorials and educational efforts increased awareness of what occurred. Some leaders acknowledged the injustice and called for reparative measures. Although debates continue over compensation and accountability, greater recognition has helped bring the story into national conversation. Understanding this history is seen as essential for confronting broader issues of racial injustice and historical truth. 10. Why Tulsa 1921 still matters. The events in Tulsa remain significant because they reveal how fear, misinformation, and racism can erupt into devastating violence. They also show the resilience of a community that rebuilt despite immense loss. Remembering this tragedy encourages honest reflection about justice, equality, and accountability. History shapes present realities, and ignoring painful chapters limits collective growth. By studying Tulsa 1921, society gains insight into the importance of protecting civil rights and ensuring that such destruction never happens again. The story of Tulsa 1921 is not just about the past, it is about truth, memory, and responsibility. It reminds us how quickly injustice can unfold and how long its effects can last. Learning about these events honors the victims and strengthens our commitment to fairness and equality. If this video helped you understand an important chapter of history, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue exploring powerful and meaningful stories together. Thank you for watching.